so fresh, looking so fresh. When I walk by, breaking their necks. Waiting in line at the team store. Now I'm feeling fly like a condor. Eyes on me when I walk through the door. Man, I wish I bought a couple more. Cause I really love my city. It was worth every penny. Everywhere at my show. Then I know they gon' tip me. Think I might add a couple patches. If you think it's ugly, you capping. Now my whole outfit matching. Never going out of fashion.
What's up, everybody? Welcome. 641 is the episode number. Talking Friars podcast and YouTube show. Ben Fadden with you here, October 1st, 2024. And the Padres, they have started off their postseason with a bang. Fernando, literally a bang right off the bat. And I think the first pitch that he saw, and that was the power that the Padres needed. Because Michael King was absolutely fantastic. Jason Adam was freaking nasty. And then Robert Suarez, hey, results-based business. He was able to get the job done. Manny with a heck of a play. Good job by Donovan Solano on the back end as well to finish that in the ninth inning. The Padres, they needed to win this game because, look, you had such a big advantage. You had Michael King, your number one guy in this postseason right now. You line him up at home. You're the healthy team. The Braves were banged up. No Acuna, no Strider, no Sale, no Austin Riley. They're banged up. And they're throwing a guy that had one outing, I think, in the big leagues this year, a AAA starter. You got to get to him. You have to win that game. Who knows what was going to happen with Max Fried coming up tomorrow in game 2. And then game 3, they might go with Charlie Morton if it gets to that. I'm confident going into tomorrow that it's not going to get to that. But this was definitely a game that it felt like, man, they had to win. I was on John and Jim. John and Jim let me come on their show, their live show at Naughty Barrel before the game. And we were just having that conversation about how big of a game tonight was for the Padres. And so I'm glad, I'm excited that they got this win. And then tomorrow is going to be even better with Joe on the mound. Obviously, those that are watching on YouTube, you can see the Joe Musgrove banner towel behind me. And I know that I'm biased. I'm just a Padres fan, but Joe is one of my favorite players. It's him, Crony, and Merrill. Those are the three. If I had to pick three, obviously I love a bunch of guys on this team. But with Joe going tomorrow, the San Diego kid, and we know that he is a dog. He is a competitor. And Michael King showed that tonight as well, by the way. But we know he is a competitor, and he wants to end this tomorrow night. So can't wait for that. It's going to be the same time, but instead of being on ESPN, it's on ESPN2, I believe. So that's for those that are not going to be at the game. I didn't hear very many complaints about the broadcast tonight, so I guess that's a positive. But, man, what an environment that was. By the way, if you want to join the show, click that link pinned up at the top of the chat. I will get to the comments and the chat as well. But, man, an environment, you walk it in, and you can immediately tell that it's different. I mean, you walk in and the concourse is packed. Yes, I'm a fast walker, and so me walking around the concourse, yeah, not great. I think some people walk too slow, but it's still, when I was walking through and taking time to walk through, you could just tell the energy was in Petco Park, and this was, an hour, half hour before first pitch. And then the pregame intros come, and even the staff members were getting a good applause by Padres fans. And then obviously when the rotations announced, and Joe got a huge ovation, obviously, and then Jackson Merrill and the rest of the starting lineup, it reminded me of 2022, obviously, because I was there for that as well. And I tweeted this during the game, like, man, I miss that postseason environment so much. So much. That Petco environment in the postseason, there's nothing like it. And I got to see, with those couple of home runs tonight from Tatis, which was a freaking bomb. Second deck. Initially, I thought it was the first because I didn't really see it go down because I was just focused on the left fielder. And once I saw the left fielder be like, okay, yeah, I'm not getting that. I was just kind of blocking out there. Um, but yeah, Tatis crushed that. The launch angle was like 38 degrees. And Higgy had the homer later, which was big because you didn't know what we were going to get from Robert Suarez when he came into the game. So that made it 4-0. And for me, being able to see all those yellow towels waving around, 47,000 plus people in that building tonight, and I'd say 99% of them were Padres fans. I barely saw any red or blue, right? There was a Dodger fan in the upper deck, which talk about Dodger fans just wanting to be the center of attention and wanting everyone to notice them. Why would you come to a Padres Braves game in a Dodger shirt, in Dodger gear? Like, get the F out of here with that. But anyway, the crowd was fantastic. Seeing all the yellow towels waving like that, there's just nothing like that. For anyone that was at this game tonight, or you were at it was like 2022. So if you were at any of the 2022 games, and if you're going to be at the game tomorrow, you'll see that as well. Like, it is special. And maybe I'm just a little softer than some Padres fans, but even it's wild card game 1, right? We got a long way to go here. But seeing Tatis homer and Higgy homer, and then I'm just soaking in the moment, seeing those guys around the bases, and just literally I'm looking around the crowd while that is happening because I'm just trying to soak in the moment as much as possible and appreciate that moment as much as possible. And it was not my Dodgers celebration where I was crying. It wasn't that, but I did. How would I say this? I got a little emotional during those homers. Yeah. Like, I get it. It's game 1, but it's just something special when I see the entire city like that, all together waving those yellow towels, and they're all dialed in on every pitch. I'm telling you, being at those postseason games, it is something else. Where, yes, it was a less than 2.5-hour game today. It was a short game, but it felt really long. And the Padres were winning pretty much the whole time. Going from the second inning on, they were winning, or no, the first inning, right? Yeah, because Tatis hit in the first. They were up 3-0 at the end of the second inning. So, and the way Michael King was pitching tonight, we were in control of that thing, but still, it just felt so long. Maybe it's a San Diego fan in us that just is waiting for something to happen, but this team is different. This team is special. And Michael King, man, don't mess with the king. Mike Schilt made the right decision starting that guy game 1. Holy cow, he is a stud. And I knew that going in, and I was confident in Michael King going in. I mean, the guy hadn't allowed more than 2 earned runs since the beginning of August. I think his first start in the month of August against Pittsburgh. So he has been doing really good. But I'd be lying if I was expecting him to go 7 shutout innings and strike out 12 guys. The Braves have a talented lineup, but that sweeper was really working. And I was hearing as I was driving home, I was hearing on 97.3 The Fan, the King press conference after the game. And he was talking about, I think it was Jeff Sanders that asked him a question about, did the game ever become normal for him? And the answer for him was no, really. Like, he actually didn't want to normalize it because as a reliever, he wanted to pitch in those big moments. And as a starter, obviously it's a big moment and you're in front of your home crowd, packed crowd, loud crowd. So he didn't want to normalize it. He wanted like that adrenaline to really get him going. And it worked. It sure worked. That 12th strikeout, I think it was a sweeper that he threw there. That was nowhere close to the zone, but it had so much movement on it that initially, obviously, they don't have a whole lot of time to react. The guy swings at it. I forget who was up to the plate, but swings at it, and the ball ends up behind a left-handed hitter. If the left-handed hitter was in the left-handed batter's box there, it was against a righty. And then he had a really nasty changeup as well. It felt like he was striking out the last batter of every inning. I don't know if that was the case, but it felt like that. And then he struck out the side one of them, I believe. I wish Don and Mudd were on the call. They were showed on the Jumbotron, so that was cool, and they got a lot of love, obviously. But, Michael, what a stud. And I wonder how Brian Cashman of the Yankees is feeling right now, because he trades Michael King, and sure, you get Juan Soto, and he was great, over 900 OPS, over 40 homers. We'll see what happens with the Yankees when they play in the division series and how that goes. But you gave away Michael King for 1 year of Soto and Grish. The Padres have Jackson Merrill, who replaced Grish, and the Padres have their game one starter who went 7 shutout innings. I think the Yankees would like that, because I think their starting pitching situation isn't very super stable right now. And then Higgy hits a homer, and he's the starting catcher for the Pods. Like, man, AJ Preller again, making the best of the situation, considering the circumstances. We all knew what happened, what was going to happen, I should say, in the offseason. They were going to trade him. It was going to happen. It was now AJ's duty to get the best package back to help this Padres team still be able to compete. And this Padres team is, let me tell you this, they're not just competing. They are here to win the whole freaking thing. You think they're going to be scared of the Dodgers if they get past the Braves tomorrow night or in game 3? No. I was saying on John and Jim today, I'm more worried about this Braves series than I am about the Dodgers series, to be honest. I'm not saying the Dodgers aren't talented. They won the division for a reason. They've got superstars, obviously, all over the place. But I'm going to take the Padres pitching situation every day of the week over the Dodgers pitching situation. And this Braves situation, they've got Fried tomorrow. He could dominate. Who knows? And it's a 3-game series. The longer the series goes, favors the Padres, because they've got the depth. They've got the depth in the bullpen. They've got the depth in the rotation. So really, for me, the most nervous I am is this wild card series. So it's great to win game 1. If they didn't win game, I don't think any wild card team has come back from 0-1 to win. Could be wrong on that, but I think I heard John Schaefer say that earlier today. So I'll believe him. So it would have been tough. And the Braves, man, they are not in a good spot. I guess the positive for them is that they didn't throw Raisel Iglesias tonight, and they have Max Fried going tomorrow, their best available option as a starter. But the Braves remind me of sort of the 2021 Padres. I know the Braves made the playoffs, but remember, the Padres had a lot of injuries, and they've obviously been bit by that. And that's the Braves' turn this year. And again, I've said this before, but it feels like everything is clicking for this Padres team. Everything is going right. They don't have to face Chris Sale. During the regular season, they didn't have to face Paul Skeens or Skubal when the Tigers came to town. And I'm still going to give the Padres credit, obviously. I'm just saying things are going their way. They had guys hurt, but those guys are back. Fernando is back. Darvish is sitting in the bullpen. He'd be pitching for the Braves. He would have been starting tonight for the Braves, probably. So there's depth. Guys are coming back. Musgrove obviously came back and starting tomorrow, and he's pitching really well. A lot of these guys were healthy Merrill was healthy the entire year, right? Michael King didn't go on the IL. And Manny's Manny, right? He comes back, and look how he's going. So, man, what a play he made to end that game. Jason Adam continues to be nasty. Tanner Scott was warming up in the pen at one point, but then they decided to sit him down. The Braves lineup, it doesn't really fit Tanner Scott. If you want the matchup, like right on right, it's a lot of righties in that lineup, and Tanner Scott's a lefty. He could pitch tomorrow. He might go 4 or 5 outs tomorrow, to be honest. He hasn't pitched in days. Didn't pitch today. Does Schilt want to go to Suarez back-to-back days? Or would he prefer, let's try Tanner Scott before going to Suarez? There's Estrada. There's Morejon. There's Darvish. But they're not going to use Darvish unless they have to. They want Darvish pitching game 2 of the division series. That's right, I said game 2, because Dylan Cease would be game 1 if you can win tomorrow. And I feel very confident going into tomorrow's game. I know Max Fried is talented, but Joe Musgrove is pitching really well right now. Behind the home crowd, the bullpen, the offense, the Padres. I'm still taking the Padres offense over the Braves offense. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. It's not over. The Padres will be the first to tell you that this is not over. But could we draw up a better start to this postseason for the Padres? You have your starter go 7 shutty, 12 punch outs. You have your relievers not give up any runs. You have your one of your stars, hit a bomb in the first inning. You have your catcher hit a bomb as well. And he had a sac fly. I want to give him credit on that as well. You have Manny making a good play there at the end. This was a tremendous night for the Padres. It was great that Tom DeLonge was in the house. He threw the first pitch. I wasn't expecting that. I was disappointed. Did I already say this? I was disappointed that there wasn't the PS with the heart in center field. I don't know if that's a Major League Baseball thing where the Padres have to approve that. I don't think that would be an issue. Why would Major League Baseball decline that? But I was expecting it to be there. And so I was a little disappointed that it was not there. Maybe it was a grass thing where like they can't have it the entire postseason, so they're saving it for a later round. But I would have put the PS with the heart in center field. But that's just me. They did, in the pregame stuff, they did have a Peter Seidler quote up there and him talking from one of his pressers. So that was cool. Shield was obviously in the house. Alex Morgan and Servando were in the house. The two SNL guys, Kyle Mooney and Dave McCary, they were in the house. They were all sitting together. So what a row that was. Yeah. That was a sick night to be at. That was a fun night to be at Petco Park. Great atmosphere. Walking down the staircases, going into the trolley from the upper deck. There were the "Let's Go Padres" chants. That's a postseason thing that I missed. Like that was awesome because we had that during the DS against the Dodgers. But then there was also FLA. It was "Let's Go Padres," and then not FLA, F the Dodgers. That was another chant. So I'm not gonna look ahead. I don't want to look ahead. I kind of did a little bit earlier. The series is not over, but I know it's easy for us fans to be like, all right, we got Joe tomorrow. The Braves are banged up. Look how we're playing. And the Dodgers, obviously, Braves can't compare to the Dodgers in like a rivalry for the Padres, right? So I'm not surprised that there's fans that are already looking towards the Dodgers. It's something that we can't really help, right? But man, what a game that was. I don't want to miss something that happened there. So I'm looking through the box score here. Something that was good. Bummer had to be used for the Braves today. They had to use Jackson. 47,647 was the attendance. 2 hours and 9 minutes. That did not feel like 2 hours and 9 minutes. That felt like 3-4 hours. Because you're locked into every pitch and you're clapping after every out. Like that doesn't happen during the regular season, Everyone's locked into it. Everyone's standing when there's 2 strikes, and there was obviously a lot of that with Michael King on the mound tonight. Yeah, and I'm still obviously very confident. The most confident reliever that the reliever that I'm most confident in is still Jason Adam, and he continued to pitch really well tonight. And Michael King, by the way, I did see this stat while I think I was on the trolley when I saw this. From Opta Stats, Michael King, 12 strikeouts, no walks, no runs, and a win. No other pitcher in Major League Baseball history has done all of that in a postseason game. So that was a special performance from Michael King. And I obviously wasn't watching the TV feed, but I did see the highlight after of Michael King's dad. I think it was his mom next to him as well, being pumped up for Michael after that 12th strikeout. So that was cool. I did see Michael King's dad walking in the concourse, but there were so many people, he was on the other side. But yeah, that was cool. I can't imagine being Michael's dad and everything, the journey and all that. And you get to see your son just shove it down the Braves, what, in game 1 with a packed crowd, chanting your son's name. That's got to be cool. All right. A reminder of some of the partners of the show: Gaglione Bros, famous cheesesteaks and garlic fries. Hopefully, some of you that went to the game were able to have that tonight. They're down the third baseline, so check them out. Their main location also is on Friars Road. Breaking Tea, they've got Padres and Aztecs shirts and sweatshirts, bunch of cool Padres shirts. Under this jersey and sweatshirt, I'm actually wearing my Merrill shirt right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he has some big postseason moments coming up. The moment's not too big for him. That's for sure. And then Underdog, 50% deposit match up to $1,000. Code Talking Friars. Click that link in the description. There will be promos every day during the month of October. Underdog is calling it Boostober for Underdog. So make sure to check them out. I actually thought that my voice wasn't going to be very good tonight because just how loud it is. Even when you're trying to talk to someone that's sitting next to you or a couple seats down, you feel like you're yelling at them, because of how freaking loud it is there. The environment's insane. SeatGeek, by the way, code Talking Friars. I don't know if you're able to get tickets on. I think you should be able to. Playoff tickets on SeatGeek, code Talking Friars. If you want to, I know SeatGeek is a sponsor, but I just want to help out Padres fans. Hopefully they don't hate me for this, SeatGeek. If you want to make sure that your tickets are going to work, and I just want to help all Padres fans out, you should probably use Ticketmaster because that's the Padres official site. Obviously, go through the Padres site first, and if that doesn't work, then probably go through Ticketmaster, then go to SeatGeek, and you can, get money off there. I know that. I used to work for the Padres as a ticket seller, so I know that sometimes tickets didn't work using it from other sites. That's all I'm saying. So and I say this during the playoffs because I don't want you wasting $130, have it go down the drain and it not work. That's all. All right. Carter says, I think my voice is going to be gone tomorrow. I scream so loud. Yeah. And you weren't even at the game probably, huh? Jackson asks, how many years is King's extension going to be? Yeah. Give him that thing right now. Probably 5 years. 4 or 5 years. Would he take the Musgrove? Just match the Musgrove extension? I know Musgrove was team friendly, but probably not right now after what he just did. But that's probably the starting point, I would feel like. If he's going to keep starting like this, this is his first season starting. So if he does that again next year, holy cow. Yes, I had a lot of fun at the game, Carter. A lot of fun. That was very great. Gerard with the Let's Go Padres. Eddie, LFGSD. What a great game. Let's take care of business tomorrow. That's right. Series ain't over. Musgrove, I think he's faced the Braves before. Has he faced them this season? Let's see. His last start against the Dodgers was September 26th, 6 1/3, 2 earned runs. If he just would have went 6, he would not have allowed any runs. Remember, he had the walk to Muncy, I think, and then gave up the homer to Will Smith. He has not allowed more than 3 earned runs since April 26th. So there's a little nugget there. He has not faced Atlanta this year. So can't bring anything up there. Jackson says 0 changeups for Bobby, not ideal. Well, maybe he wasn't feeling it. What if he wasn't feeling that changeup? I don't want him to throw something he's not confident in and force it, because then he could throw something really right down the middle. The Matt Olson ball off the bat, I thought that could have been gone. I was like, oh boy, here we go. But stayed in the yard and then was able to get the job done. That's all that matters. Did he get the job done? Yes. Is he the reliever I'm most confident in? No. I'm more confident in Scott still than Suarez. But this series is a series for Suarez. It's a bunch of righties. It's not a bunch of lefties. I'm not saying scant. I'm not saying Scott can't get lefty or can't get righties out. He can. But I mean, you saw the Ohtani at bat the other night, right? That was nasty. He's really effective against lefties and makes it really hard on those lefties. Jackson says, "What an amazing game plan to use the slider today. He got a couple of Ks on a pitch. He only threw 5% of the time." Are you talking about King? That sweeper was freaking nasty tonight. Oh, Coach Lee's in the house. What's up? Yeah, sorry it took so long to be live here, guys. I got back from when I got back from the game. That's when I go live here, and so it took a little bit. If I wasn't at the game, I'd be live, right after the game. But I wanted to I wanted to do the show where it's quiet and I can just give my thoughts here. Yeah, Harris, the only lefty in that Braves order. I think Albies is a switch hitter, isn't he? Or is he? Maybe he was a switch hitter, but he's now only a right-handed hitter. Or maybe I think I heard something about how he's only hitting right-handed because of an injury that he had. So maybe like he's just not strong enough on that left side with how he has to swing. Regardless, hey, it works for the Padres' advantage. Yeah, Olsen as well. Olsen and Harris. Harris is a switch hitter, I think, though. Tyler says, "Just wanted to take a second to thank you, Ben." No, thank you guys. Man, you guys showed up tonight. Holy cow. I think it's pretty clear. Now, I wasn't watching all the other games. I watched some of all the games. I think it's pretty clear the Padres had the best atmosphere. Now, it was a night game. I do got to be fair to Houston and, there's people working. It is the wild card series. It's not the World Series. I understand that. But man, Padres fans, that was the best atmosphere of the day. Gotta be, right? Yep, Padres are on ESPN2 tomorrow. Why? What is on ESPN tomorrow? That playoff baseball is going to be on ESPN2. The WNBA semifinals, excuse me, that was on ESPN2 tonight. They don't play tomorrow. What would even be on? There's no NFL. NBA hasn't started. So tomorrow the game times. Oh, Mets Brewers is at 4:30 tomorrow on ESPN. That's why. They'd rather have Mets Brewers be on ESPN than Padres and Braves. I think that's kind of nuts. I know it's the New York market, but wow. I think the sexier matchup is Fried against Musgrove, Padres Braves. But the MLB schedule tomorrow. So the first game is going to be 11:30. Tigers Astros. Tigers upsetting the Astros today. Schoolbowl, man, he was really good. 1:30 is going to be Royals and the Orioles. KC leads 1-0. That's got to suck for Baltimore. Corbin Burns pitched his butt off. I think he pitched in the 9th inning and gave up 1 run. But Orioles offense didn't do anything there. Seth Lugo gets the start for the Royals, old friend. And speaking of old friend, or not friend, Sean Manaea, he gets the start for the Mets tomorrow. That's at 4:30 against the Brewers. The Mets are up 1-0. So every road team except the Braves won today. Interesting. These games, I was saying this to someone earlier today. These games, the wild card series, the first and second days where there's 4 games, and then the division series where there's everyone playing 4 games, those are the best days, man. Today felt like Christmas with all those postseason games. All right, continuing with the chat here. Oh, Ticketmaster sold out. Yeah, try SeatGeek then. $20 off, first order code, Talking Friars. Coach Lee, he was my high school coach, by the way. Anyone that is like, who's Coach Lee? Asked, does it bother you that Musgrove went to Grossmont? I wish he went to Helix. That would have been sick. But no, not really. He's a San Diego guy. Uh, I made catches at Coach Lee knows. I made catches in center, played at shortstop on that same field. That's pretty cool. So no, it doesn't. In the best world, yeah, of course I would have loved if he went to Helix, but no, a San Diego guy like that, I think it's actually kind of cool that he went to our rival high school. That all goes away though when you're in a Padre uniform. Did Nando homer after he bat flipped? I think he did. I wasn't watching I saw the reaction where he faced the dugout and how pumped up he was, but I was watching the ball. That ball was hit like 500 feet in the air. That ball's crushed. No, thank you for this comment here. Shout out to everyone in the chat, including Talking Friars. Keep up the good work on the channel. Appreciate it. And shout out from South Bronx. Oh, okay. No, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, okay. So that's what I thought. Albies is hitting righty due to injury. Oh, what's up, Austin? How's it going, man? Says place was electric tonight. Wish we got a little more out of Manny tonight, but his throw from left field to get the last out was sick. Yeah. When I saw him field that ball, I was like, okay, we got a chance. I was hoping that he was gonna like bounce it on purpose and not have Solano pick it like that, but great job from Solano. I think I said out loud maybe, bounce it, just like intentionally use the grass. But hey, they got the out. But yeah, we got the best defensive third baseman in baseball. No one can tell me different. Let's see here. Steven asks, will Higgy catch again tomorrow and Thursday if necessary? I assume so. Yeah. I don't think that they're gonna, especially for a 3-game series. I don't think that they're gonna be like, no, let's go with Elias Diaz over a guy that just homered and has earned the starting catcher role. Both guys are right-handed. Vince asked, do you think Don and Mudd should have called the game or have the ESPN broadcast team call the game? Well, of course, I think Don and Mudd should have called it. You call every game, almost every game of the season for your team, and then you don't get to call the postseason game and you have to watch it from a suite? I mean, come on. I love that Jesse and Tony still get to, obviously, on the radio. And maybe they'd like, I think Don and Mudd would be like too humble and no, you guys, we're not going to take your role. But wouldn't that be cool if they had like a 4-man booth or they alternate innings? Jesse and Tony do the first and then Don and Mudd do the second and you alternate innings. I think that would be cool. Or have those guys in there for a half inning even. They deserve to be on a mic. I don't know about Braves fans. I don't know if they have this super connection to their TV crew because I think their play-by-play guy just left for the Cardinals. But for the Padres, we have a connection to those guys. And we want to hear Don freak out in the booth calling the Tatis homer. We want to hear Don and Mudd say it, Donnie, when Michael King strikes out the side. We want to hear that for those that are watching the game from, your couch, right? So, yeah, it sucks. It's not that I hate Color Ravage or anything, but hey, if you want to, and I know ESPN, they have the rights, they pay money obviously for it. If you want to have your A crew only for that one of the series, okay, go ahead. And this obviously was their A crew, so it would be this series. But don't they, in the NBA, don't they allow in the first round They have the national broadcast and then they have the local broadcast as well. Why can't they do that? Or ESPN, okay, you have your 1A crew, but all the other ones have the local guys do it. Because do fans want to hear? And I actually like Michael Kay. Like, no disrespect to him, but I was listening to the Astros game earlier today, or watching it a little bit too. And Michael Kay was on, and Alden Gonzalez was a sideline reporter, and it's just like, I think both fan bases that care about this game a lot would rather have Tigers fans would rather have Jason Benetti on the call. Astros fans would probably rather have whoever their play-by-play guys are. That's just what it is. So it sucks. Baseball, it's one thing if it's the NFL and that's not a regional game, right? Jim Nance and Tony Romo, they jump around, and Brady and Burkhardt and Olsen and who's the ESPN booth? Buck and Aikman. It's different. You know, fans are used to national guys calling their games. But in a game like baseball where there's 162 games, you're attached to your broadcast. You are. And so, yeah, Don and Mud should be calling these games. But that's not the way it is. It's a business. There's a lot of money in it. These networks pay a lot of money. Not NFL money, but they pay a lot of money to broadcast these games. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to the rest of this wild card series. We'll see what happens with the division series, but yeah, I'm planning on going. Hopefully, it's only tomorrow. I don't want to be at Petco Park on Thursday. I want this series to be over. And we got Cease and Darvish for games 1 and 2. And then you could just go right back to the top of the rotation. Frank asks, I wonder if the Braves have any pitching left in their roster. So I can actually pull that up right now. The Braves bullpen chart that I made. So today, Bummer pitched, Chavez pitched, and Jackson pitched. So Iglesias and Jimenez, their two top relievers, will be going. They will be pitching tomorrow. You can guarantee that. They had a day off today, and their season's on the line tomorrow. So Iglesias could go 5 outs. Jimenez could go more than 3 outs, maybe. Pierce Johnson might pitch. Max Fried, although it's Max Fried, I get it, but he's going to be on a short leash, I would imagine, because the Braves have to play it like it was 2019. And it's one game, wild card playoff. This is it. Your season is on the line. And if you want to look at the positive from the Padres bullpen situation, well, Jason Adam can go back-to-back days. I mean, if you win tomorrow, you have the day off. You have actually, it would be what? Thursday? You'd have Thursday and Friday off, because Saturday, I think, is game 1 for the division series. You'd have multiple days off. Suarez can pitch back-to-back days. Scott, I would look for Scott to go more than 3 outs tomorrow. I would look for Jeremiah Estrada to pitch at some point tomorrow. Obviously, with the righties. Don't know if Hoeng's going to get in. Would not expect Morejon to get in unless it's like a matchup where it's 2 outs in an inning and they want Morejon to go face Matt Olson or something, and it's not late. They want to save Scott. We'll see. But those are some of my thoughts there on the bullpen situation. All right, that's it. Talking for Hours, episode 641. Hopefully you enjoyed this show. I am planning on doing a live show after every Padres playoff game this year, or at least every playoff game that I'm watching live. If I'm not watching it live, because I do have work that I can't control the schedule, then I might not do it live. I might just do a recap video. But yeah, I'll keep you guys obviously updated. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether you're live on YouTube, replay on YouTube, listening podcast platforms. Can't wait for tomorrow. A great night tonight, and we'll see if the Padres can move on to the next round, move on to the Dodgers. They can sweep the Braves tomorrow night at Petco.